This is a graphic illustration of a pilot television series for sale as an original production. This is strictly for proof of concept. We purposely did not put any sales elements in the pilot. For example, closed captioning brought to you by, or any brought to you by segments. These could easily be incorporated into the show as they are sold. Secondly, we did not put any packaging on it or graphical treatment. The idea of this pilot is to get a feel for the concept as clearly as possible with no clutter. We used already existing content to produce this pilot. If this was an original production, the talent and locations would be an intricate part of the pre-production process. This is meant to be a character-driven series, and one of the characters is the locations we travel to. Whoa, what did it?
Oh. That'll get your attention. Boy, that sucker came out.
Welcome to this week's episode of Surf and Turf, the show that combines superb hunting and fishing action in a no-holds-barred format.
I waited 39 years for this. Here we go.
Each week, we tackle diverse outdoor activities, both afloat and in the field. And if you're an all-around sportsman who loves every aspect of the great outdoors, this is the show for you. Autumn is perhaps the busiest time of year for those who love the outdoors. A time when everything bites, fights, schools, flocks, and flies. There aren't enough hours in a typical day to pack in all the hunting and fishing opportunities that nature delivers to your doorstep. Avid outdoorsmen do their best to take advantage of nature's bounty, opting to catch up on their sleep once the frantic pace of fall winds down toward winter's relative slumber. Fall is a season of harvest for farmers and sportsmen alike. With fish and game so dramatically on the move, it's prime time to intersect seasonal migrations, predict daily movements through bottlenecks, and focus your efforts in feeding areas that up the odds for contact.
That is one
Being
of
in the right
biggest
place at the right
smallmouth-
time is a huge key to both hunting and fishing success. So lace up your boots, check your knots, and load your shells, because we're headed outdoors with our sights set on superb hunting and fishing action. This week on Surf and Turf, we'll head to the wilds of northern Minnesota to experience a hot fall crappie bite in cool weather.
Now that's what I call a pair to draw to.
Later, we'll set our sights on a fall duck expedition to the historic Prairie Pothole region of North Dakota, where flocks of passing birds fill the sky with natural beauty and wonder. First up, let's hop in the boat with a couple of veteran crappie experts who are on the fish and on the bite.
Can't tell, Dave, it feels pretty good. Let's see. Nice one. Hey! Oh, man! Not bad for a first bite. Huh? Nice crappie. Look at how fat she is. You know, when word gets out that crappies like this are biting, people come after them in droves. They take advantage of a hot and heavy crappie bite. In fact, I don't know anybody that doesn't enjoy catching crappies. Let's keep a bunch of them. Take them in the cooler, bub.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, most people fish for crappies in spring of the year, and that holds true on lakes, rivers, and reservoirs all over the country, in and around spawn time. Does it look like a spring spawn time bite to you? It definitely isn't. You know, one of our favorite times of the year to take advantage of the biggest crappies in the system is in the cold water transition in fall leading into winter, when you get big bunches of fish bunched up together in designated areas. See, those are all crappies on that bottom. They're from bottom scattered up, big pot of them. Within, you know, they're coming up probably 4 or 5 feet off the bottom. I'm in 30 feet of water, 29 to 30 feet of water. That's a mega school there, boy. You can see it's on one of my old numbers. 286 is the number if you're interested.
And the location of 286 is available. Just send $10 to me. There's one. Must be a good spot, Al. Oh, look at those big, beautiful things. Man, oh man.
Oh, I missed mine.
You can literally sit on a big school in deep water like this, and in a good day, you could catch 100 from one spot. And maybe you could keep a bunch of those and you'd look at your depth finder and it looked like you didn't even touch the school. That's how many are down there. Cold water aggregation. Got it.
Oh, man.
Man, oh man, oh man. Fish after fish after fish.
Just like that other fish, pretty nice one. See, those are all crappies on that bottom. They're from bottom scattered up, big pot of them. Oh. It's one right after the other, after the other, after the other. Big, beautiful crappies. That's fun. You know, I fished with musky nuts, that's their passion. I fished with steelhead fishermen, that's their passion. Professional walleye fishermen and bass fishermen, they make their living doing it. But when there's a crappie bite going on, every single one of them took a little bit of time to enjoy a good day on the water crappie fishing, no matter what the time of the year is. Everybody likes catching crappies.
Fish after fish after fish.
Coming up next, the fall fishing action continues as Surf and Turf dials in the deep water bite for calico crappies.
We got a bunch of them under us, Dave. A really good batch. It's on one of my other numbers. They're all the way, look at them all. They're high off the bottom in here too.
Man, fish after fish after fish. Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that baby. A spinner.
You know what happened? These fish that are now just getting in to this massive wintering area, and it's a whole area here. These have been pods of fish that had been scattered all over the lake throughout the summer. And now they start coming in and packing up in what we often refer to as a wintering area, and there's just thousands and thousands of fish. And a lot of these individual pods right now are going to start coming together and make a couple of giant pods. And as the season goes on, you'll come over these fish when it gets real cold, it'll look like a Christmas tree instead of these individual pods. Right now, after this kind of a cold day, a lot of these fish are all bottom oriented right now. But that's what happened. Water temperature is 52 degrees. And when you get in the low 50s, they start finding these wintering holes. And it's really pretty easy, depending on the lake, river, or reservoir that you fish, to just, make a good educated guess where some of these spots would be.
On most of the lakes that we fish, lake areas with weed flats or shallow humps bordering mid-depth basins of 20 to 40 feet tend to be best for crappies. During summer, crappies suspend above the thermocline, but in fall, with water temperature and oxygen fairly consistent from top to bottom, crappies drop deeper and initially become very bottom-oriented. Small groups of crappies patrol soft-bottom basin areas adjacent to points, humps, and drop-offs. They're simply wandering in search of minnows, or in some cases, specific areas where the bottom content is conducive to producing insects. They're there for a reason. That's food. As small groups begin joining into larger schools, the bite gets better and better. A mega school containing hundreds of fish might be 30 or 40 feet in diameter, extending 10 to 15 feet off the bottom. Hey, that's what I call a good spot.
Look at the belly on that dude. Oh, Dave, you got a whopper too. Now that's some fish. Look at this. Now that's what I call
two at a time.
A pair to draw to. Want to cash in on some fantastic crappie fishing? Go out in the cold water fall period when the water starts dipping in the low 50s. Try some of the presentation options we shared, and I guarantee you'll have some of the best fishing of the season. Oh, I love it.
When we come back, there's no time to lose because the birds are flying and daylight's too valuable to waste this time of year. The action switches over to field hunting waterfowl as Surf and Turf continues.
Take these.
Fall is prime time for waterfowl hunters to take to the fields, rimming prairie potholes and sloughs where migratory ducks and geese drop in for daily visits on their way south to wintering habitat.
Take them.
Today, we join hardcore duck hunters at a well-known stop along the Central Flyway for birds and bird hunters alike. They're primed and ready to scout out, set up, and experience spectacular duck hunting action in a prairie pothole setting.
The farmland and grassland that makes this part of the world so attractive to ducks and geese rolls by. Our destination is the legendary waterfowl-producing prairie pothole region around Devil's Lake, North Dakota, where we'll meet up with good friend, fellow guide, and one of the best waterfowl hunters in the upper Midwest, Jason Mitchell.
You know, it's early October, probably the 8th, 9th, 10th day of the season. And so we've been hunting ducks here for about a week and a half. And the spring forecast this year, we had record breeding pairs of ducks in the state. We are ahead of schedule. This is the first time I can ever remember that we've had corn combine this time of the year. And so every year's a little different. This year, we've got good duck numbers, but the story this year has been, hunting and corn, the first week of October, which is unheard of. But, seeing just a lot of birds. This really has been really an incredible season.
Woodland Resort on the shores of Devil's Lake will be our base of operations for what we hope is the waterfowl hunting trip of a lifetime.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, bud, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Welcome to the prairie, my friend.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Yeah. You ready to see some ducks?
I'm ready to shoot some ducks and see some ducks.
Me too. Tell you what, you guys got here plenty early. I kind of have an idea where we're going to hunt tomorrow. Let's go out, check it out tonight, kind of go over some strategy, just get dialed in as good as possible. Duck hunting, it's all about location and it's all about scouting, and so let's take you on for that. That's probably as enjoyable as the hunt itself. You're going to see a lot of birds tonight, so
awesome.
Let's drive out a few back roads.
Sounds good.
See what we see. I tell you what, Dan, right here where we're located, just north of Devil's Lake a few miles, this is what's considered the heart of the prairie pothole region. The prairie pothole region is so important for duck production in the central and even the Mississippi flyways, whereas within 100 miles of where we're standing, a huge percentage of ducks are hatched and raised in this area each year. But this is more of a permanent wetland here, but what's really important as well are the temporary seasonal wetlands. We're just out in the field when the snow melts in the springtime. You'll just get these shallow, 6 inches to 12 inches of just temporary wetlands that will dry up by midsummer, but the ducks really need that in the springtime. That's one of the most important parts of this whole prairie ecosystem for duck production. In the springtime, the ducks really key on invertebrates. They're eating a lot of these snails, they're eating a lot of shrimp and other invertebrates, and that helps with their egg development. And so these seasonal wetlands are loaded. I mean, it's just the amount of aquatic life that are in these temporary wetlands in the spring is amazing. A lot of them moving around. They haven't quite made up their mind yet, right, where they want to go. But
Wow, are they everywhere though?
we're going to have to beat feet and get over there just to kind of get dialed in a little more.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Look at all those birds pouring into that corn. Now we kind of...
Oh, yes, I see them going down right there.
Yeah.
Are they right on this side of that?
Yeah, they're right in that low spot. I mean, they're just dropping down in that trough in the field, but that's where we want to be in the morning. Kind of put them to bed here now and just kind of watch them and see how they're just dropping in, and they're not really moving around a lot.
Can I take a peek quick?
You bet. But that's kind of a good sign. That means that they're finding a lot of cobs on the ground. You know, if they got to move and jump around, then that means that they've got that field fed out. So that's a good sign.
I am excited to get up there just to see exactly where they are pouring in there. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it kind of gets your heart racing for the next day. You know, you go to bed at night and you can't wait for the alarm to go off.
That's why I couldn't sleep last night. Now I really won't be able to sleep tonight.
When we come back, more hunting action on the prairie as Surf and Turf continues.
Here they come, here they come. Yeah, coming at us here, guys. Coming right overhead, Jason. See him?
Oh. Let's take these guys. There you go, nice work, nice work.
Yes, I love this, I love this, I love this. Right here.
All right, tell you what, let's grab those two there.
Here's another flock coming around.
Okay, there's a bunch of them coming here now. Okay, Dan, let's try these right here.
Oh, yes! Oh, I love this.
That was pretty.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming.
Thank you very, very much for this, because it's like I haven't done this since I was probably I don't know, junior in high school.
Yeah.
And it's like, this brings back some awesome memories, and this is so darn fun. It's like
birds decoying, the sunrise on the prairie. It never really leaves you once you've seen it. You always want to go back to it.
Oh, is that fun? This is exactly what Jason was talking about. It's like, you know, duck hunting in North Dakota, there's birds everywhere. And it's like, if you find the spot, the X, like Jason would say, you're on. We are on the X tonight. There's birds coming in. The wind is blowing. The perfect decoy setup. This guy knows his stuff. And this is fun for me, big time.
Here we go, here we go.
Ready, Jason?
Take them, take them. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? That's what it's all about right there.
Oh, Lord, thank you for that. Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that is beautiful.
All
Mitchell.
Right. I got two out of there.
There goes Satch. Look at Satch is gonna get him.
Nice work. That was beautiful, huh?
Nice.
Just the sun shining off them. That was pretty.
Okay, here's some more coming.
That's pretty.
How about right? Look, I can take two.
Okay, right here, right here. There we go. Nice work.
Right here, Mitchell.
Right here.
Yes!
That was pretty. That was pretty.
2 green beans down. Oh, baby. As you can see right there, it's like they circled around us, and I was expecting to come right over our head, and I'm just like, you know, we're surrounded by cattails here, so it's like, and then next thing you know, they circled back around, and there they were right in front of us.
They were right there, weren't they?
Boom, boom. Dose. Greenheads. More of them behind them. Yeah, these look interested right here. Sharp left, huh? This one's coming right here. We'll wait. Okay, they're coming back around. The final approach.
Take them, take them. There, that was pretty, huh?
What do we get out of there? One?
Yeah, we got one on there.
That was pretty. Here's 4 more coming.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This is where we get our last 3 greenies. Right here.
teasing you, Dan.
Huh?
I'm teasing you.
Yeah, you are. You were testing me. Holy mackerel, look at them all.
Look at this. Look at
Oh,
this.
oh, 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 oh. Take a deep breath. And aim. Okay, are we gonna take them?
No.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
No. A lot of people have never seen this. All right, next good shot, Dan. I'll quit teasing here. We'll take them. I just want people to see this. This is what it's all about.
Mallards, I can hear their wings right over the top of my head.
Okay, get ready here.
And we're gonna start cracking right now.
Right now, right now. Isn't that pretty?
We need one more duck.
I don't know how you're shooting this again. Kind of worried about that. Some of these flocks are so big. Okay, right here.
Tell me when, Mitchell.
Go ahead, right here, right here, right here.
There, it's dead right there. See it coming down?
Yep.
That's the one I shot at. You know, after all the years I've heard about North Dakota, my dad and brother were out to Devil's Lake many, many years ago, and they said how phenomenal it was to experience it for myself and to have this kind of success.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have something pretty darn special here.
Yeah, it is. You know, and there's a lot of rich history and a lot of nostalgia as far as just the rich waterfowl hunting that we have. You know, it's fun to look at all the old photos, but you know, you look at the old photos and in a lot of cases, the limits are more liberal today. I mean, these are the good old days right now. I mean, this is as good as it gets, as good as we'll probably see in our lifetime. So get out and hunt.
Devil's Lake, North Dakota. We love it. Look at those babies.
Fall is a special time of year when you can both hunt and fish to your heart's desire. Depending on where you live or where you travel, you may be able to combine both activities in the same day, like hunting birds at daybreak with afternoons spent on the water in search of trophy walleyes. In between, if you're lucky, you may find time for a bite and a quick nap between forays into surrounding fields and nearby waters. That's a wrap from the prairies of North Dakota, and as we also bid a fond farewell to the pristine Minnesota Northwoods, we invite you to join us next time when Surf and Turf returns for another exciting episode of fishing and hunting action.
Oh man, look at that, another great pike. We've got a pile of these today on Northwest Ontario's Lake of the Woods, and this whole area is littered with countless big pike fisheries.